Is it that time already? Well, yes it is. It is time for the July garden tour. Hi, I'm Heather Thibault and welcome to my garden. Today is the July garden tour and I'm really excited to show you around because everything is really at what I consider the peak season. We're almost to maturity and everything looks pretty good and not tired at all from the heat of the summer. This is Penny, by the way. Yeah, Penny will follow us around for most of the tour. She is one of my garden cats and she is 13 years old and she's a good girl. She keeps this garden in order, so critters beware. I garden in Connecticut Zone 6 on an average piece of property that I try to maximize my plantings with, but whether it's flowers or whether it's for food. I plant every nook and cranny. So if you're new here, I hope that you enjoy the look around and that you come back again. So let's go take a look. So this right here is what summer is all about. If I could bottle this so that I could enjoy it every day, this is it. This is summer. So the rose hedge out in front is looking great. We've got a few blooms right now, but the Lismachia that is growing underneath it, oh my goodness, I love to see this. It grows, I mean, it's growing in the sand that the town crew has to put in the winter time, you know, to keep the ice off. You can see the dahlias now are just poking through above, higher than the fence. This garden that is on the outside of my garden isn't really about me. This garden is about hopefully making people smile, hopefully making people interested in plants and wanting to garden. This sconce has been here. This is a great little sedum that grows. I just leave it in there year round. It grows all the time. Winter's over is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so not only in front of this white fence, this cultivated area of the garden, do I plant for people that are passing by, but this weird part down here. I also have been working on this for years. You can see the line ends right there. This is an area that I have plugged in ornamental grasses and phlox and daylilies over the years, just because when you're coming up from that road, this is what you see. And the plumes that come on these ornamental grasses are just so beautiful. And there's just such a variety that I put in here. There's the Aster tartaricus. I've tried to put other things that are competitive with ornamental grasses in here. It's just a mismatch of cool things, you know, trying not to let the weeds or the poison ivy grow up through here. Also, when I'm working out here, which I do work out here, is I try not to get hit by cars, you know. So I got goals, but I like to keep it looking good. And I like to not have them flop over the guardrails, so you know, that's another thing that I have to do. But anyway, I'm hoping that when people are driving up and they see this, that it makes them smile. There's such variety in ornamental grasses though. Oh my goodness. I will show you this again when all the plumes start to show up on the plants. This is actually the second time that I've shot this, because the first time I did it in time lapse. Didn't know I could do that. So this pot right here is a pot that my pastor and his family had given me with a hibiscus in it a few years ago. Now I've got this Calibrachoa, my favorite Calibrachoa, and some elephant ears growing in it. This dahlia right here is one that my mom gave me this year. I don't know its name, but this is how I've done the dahlias this year. This is the whole thing is a dahlia border. I've got the fence on the back side, and I've got metal poles with string on the inside to keep them from flopping over. And then what I did on really thick ones, or really heavy, like this one right here is a really, really big thick stem, as I have actually fixed that one to the fence. So far so good, but I will show you some of the varieties here. This one is called High Darcy, and the little bees just love this one. I do not know the name of this one right here. Actually, I used to know the name. It's got peach on the outside and yellow on the inside. And I bought it from As the Crow Flies Dahlias, or I'm gonna contact, she actually passed away and her daughters own the business now. I think it's called the Dahlia Daughters, but I'm going to see if they know what that one is. More High Darcy here. You can really see the peach on the back of it on this one, and how it curls over like that. Isn't that gorgeous? I love dahlias. Love, 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 love. This is Jitterbug. Great cut flower. This is a red cactus variety here. This is Spartacus. Got some snapdragons. More Jitterbug. Yeah, there's like 3 of them out here. Then there's a little gap for my gate. And this one is called, oh, you were doing so good. You were just doing so good. Peanut Brittle. I got it. Okay, Peanut Brittle. Isn't that gorgeous? This one is Bahama Mama. And this one is AC Rosebud. I use this one for drying. And oh, it's great cut flower too. See, it's on the smaller side, but it's a great, great plant. This one is April Dawn. Is it April Dawn? I think that's what it is. Yeah, that is just picture perfect, gorgeous. More of the red cactus in here. Oh, we have just opening is a newer one that I bought this year. Is called Senior's Hope. Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful. Look at the long stems. Love this. This one is new this year too. Oh man, it's called Polka. Look at that. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Look, there's yellow down inside of it. I love this. And here's another High Darcy. Now, I used to not like High Darcy, but I do now. I love it because the bees love it. It's great for cut flowers too. So that is the Dahlia Border, and that is my compost box. That this is where I put the food scraps to not have, draw the critters in. And on the back of this is a garden that I put in last year that I keep forgetting to show you. Now this area right here is, I threw it together last year. It's all hot colors. It's all hot things that were in an area that we were working on. My husband's like, you gotta get all this stuff moved, so I did. So there's yellow and red daylilies, only the yellow ones are still going, and this is my calendula, my medicinal calendula that I have growing. This is Screaming Yellow Baptisia that didn't do anything, but it survived transplanting, yay. Coreopsis is here. This, I can't remember. Is it a Rudbeckia? I believe it's a Rudbeckia. It's not blooming yet, but it gets pretty tall. And this is the Amaranth. Isn't that beautiful? Something around here loves to eat the foliage on the Amaranth. Blueberries and strawberries. Strawberries, of course, are long gone done. They're on the bottom here. And I've got one blueberry bush that's still producing blueberries, but I harvested as many as I could and froze them. And this is the front of the house with the colocasia and the Dusty Miller that came back that I love, and this beautiful nasturtium that I grew from seed. I really like the way this looks, and so now I'm trying to make sure that I stay on top of finding all of the seeds for them. This is how I look for them. I just lift up the nasturtium so that I can save the seeds for next year. Oh, here, look. That's a seed. Oh, now it's a ready seed. Now it's ready. All right, so the colocasia are on both sides of the porch. And so we are going to be putting a very, very short wall, more like a border, so that it'll actually look like a flower bed. But look at the colocasia on this side. They always seem to do better on this side, or they get bigger faster is what I mean. But I really like the way this has turned out with the nasturtiums this year. Let me tell you what I don't like, that I've actually saved to show you. I don't like it. Okay, these two pots, right? They are not the same. Not the same at all. I painted bamboo stakes and I put them in there to let these sweet peas climb up. This is the sweet pea that I purchased right here. I ended up with lots of different colors of sweet peas. Some white, some pale pink, some bright pink. Yeah, but what I don't like is I don't like all the yellow. I can't even. So I'm actually going to be tearing this out because we have some events coming up at the house here. And yeah, no, can't do, no can do. This one, I don't look bad. And this one ended up with all of the correct flower on it. So I will save these seeds. Am I going to do this again? I don't think so. I need to find a different place to grow sweet peas, not in these pots. Speaking of pots, my hanging pots are looking fantastic. Oh, I just love the way they look. Let me show you from up on the porch. Those are volunteer little pansies, violas there. The lantana that I bought, this is a proven winner. Lantana is between blooms. The sweet potato vine in there doesn't look so great. This is my favorite place to sit. I know I've said that before. I think it every single time too. Look at these beautiful hanging pots. My friends at Regal Farm and Forge, they made the hangers for me, and those are my clay pots. And I feed them like crazy. I feed them food and water, just like me, food and water. My cushions are up because my cats, they were like, this is great, she put out a cushion for us. I've got some begonias down here that are summering over. Here's another one of the pots. And I'm totally loving this Calendula in there. It's actually just a pot set in the top. There's my pretty girl. Are you a pretty girl? She's like, no, don't talk. Oh, hi. Hello. That's Rose. I have some coleus growing here and my ferns, fluffy ruffles. Can't remember the name of that one there. You'll go swimming shortly, okay? This is a rack that I dry my dahlias on. I'm gonna make something with them. This is the deck my husband built me. My gazebo thing that he put up. An orange tree that needs to get repotted. Stand up straight. Stand up straight. But look at this moon vine. No blooms yet, but it's growing like mad. Oh my goodness. I'm loving this plant. So this is the kitchen border here with some ornamental grasses and these plume poppies that are at their maximum height. And I love these plume poppies because the pollinators just love them. And when I'm inside the kitchen, I can, the plume poppy flowers are fragrant, and so I smell their beautiful perfume from inside the kitchen, and I also hear the buzzing of the bumblebees, which is really cool. This is it, and actually these daylilies are both fragrant as well. Two different kinds of daylilies here. And I love their height. See how tall they are? And this is a Caryopteris here. That'll be in bloom for the August garden tour. And here comes Priscilla Rose. Hello, Priscilla. Meow. Oregano. This is the garden that the garlic got pulled out of. Actually, you can see the garlic hanging in the window. I don't know if you can see it in the sunroom window there. So I have learned that I can't stand to have empty garden beds, so I constantly have seedlings up and coming so that I can pop them in so that no space gets wasted. So I have some zucchinis. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then rutabagas are on this side and that side. And the rutabagas were here when the garlic was still in the ground. So that's why they're kind of like in a weird spot there. But I just popped the zucchinis in probably only a week ago. Look at these. Now, my method over time is do your zucchinis later in the season to avoid the what is it? The squash vine borer. So far so good. These are Greek oreganos. No, they're not. They're Greek basil. It's a new to me variety. I really like it. It has kind of like a lemony kind of taste to it. And there's Piper. These guys are such great company. My cold frame here has a couple of zucchinis, actually 3 zucchinis in it as well. And this is the Swiss chard, the perpetual spinach Swiss chard that I just let self-sow. See this? This is next year's plant, so I don't have to do anything. It just drops the seed and go. And I love this because it tastes like spinach, and I just harvest the greens and put them in salad Really tasty, and they don't bolt like spinach. Gotta love that. I love it. And this border here is some Echinacea and a lot of lamb's ear in here. This container that I put in, I showed you last month with the Angelonia and the Dichondra. There are a few blueberries in here. I want to show you the cherry tomatoes here. This is the cherry tomatoes. You can see there's a gap because I lost one. Actually, I lost two, and I replanted one there. So I'll show you some of my favorites. Now you see the little bags? The bags, actually, they need to be removed after the fruit is in there like that. The bags are to keep my seed pure so that I can sell the same tomato plant every year. This one down here is blue cream, oh, is it blue cream cherry, I think? Anyway, I really like this tomato. It is a little on the watery side, but it's still sweet. I really like it. And this one is Berry's Crazy Cherry, which this is it in the back here. Hello, Bumblebee. And this one is Rosella. Can you see that? I have been battling powdery mildew and early blight. Yeah. So what I do to kind of combat that is I just take the leaves off, and I cut them, and then I throw them away. Now see, this is Thai basil. I did a little hedge of Thai basil, which smells really nice, and I think it's really pretty. I think it's really pretty. You can see some of them are really tall. So I highly recommend this cherry tomato. This is Ildi, and that is, this right here is one branch, okay? And it gets this dark yellow color. Really tasty, sweet, very nice tomato. This is chocolate pear. And oh, and I wanted to show you, see that guy? Can you see it? He's bad news. That is a tomato hornworm. Yeah, right there. And he has no white sacs on him. Okay, so when you see a tomato hornworm and it has the white sacs on it, you should let it be, because the is it pronounced brachynoid wasps? They're parasitic and they kill the tomato hornworm. But, and most importantly, they I guess they are predators of the striped cucumber beetles. So it is a bug eat bug world, but if you kill the host, then you're gonna have trouble later on. So, but he is big and he has done some damage, so I'm not sure I'm gonna let him stay. Yeah. All right, so here's the entrance to the backyard flower garden, and I am loving the way these containers look. See these containers? They've got pineapple sage in the back, which, you know, I purchased them because this is actually the second go around with these containers. And it's not because my dad gave me the begonias. I needed something to go with the begonias. This is the Proven Winner double red begonia. Anyway, I'm not actually a crazy fan of pineapple sage because it doesn't bloom until the 9th inning here for me in Zone 6. But it was big and I needed something big. And this Plectranthus. Oh my gosh, this is actually the third change out for this sconce. I do love this. I think I'm going to be keeping that one. And the clematis has filled in. I mean, it looks really great. It snapped off last winter and had to recover this arbor, but it looks great. So let's check out the back garden here. Lots of echinacea. And milkweed, because I love monarch caterpillars and monarch butterflies, and I like to be part of their life cycle, so I give milkweed room in my garden. Actually, I just let it grow wherever it wants to grow, even in the pathway, which I snap them off. It's not a big deal. This time of year, there's a lot of phlox, the tall phlox. It smells wonderful. It's really just filling a space in the garden because it's not my preferred perennial to have. Yeah, it grows everywhere. I try not to let the seed heads fall, but anyway. So here is, oh look, this is Bloomerang, the Bloomerang lilac. This is its second bloom of the season. And this little hedge down here is Teucrium. It has these pretty pink flowers. The marshmallow is in bloom right now. Marshmallow is a wonderful medicinal herb. I throw the leaves are a little fuzzy. I throw the leaves in smoothies. There's a pretty white phlox. I actually like that one because this is how I see from the kitchen window, and I like to see that bright white there. I like the silver foliage of the marshmallow plant. White echinacea. And there's comfrey. The comfrey's kind of laying down. These are the black swan poppy seed heads that I'm going to leave here. Let them just drop because this is where I had the best luck for that plant, and it was gorgeous. On this side I have just a mismatch of perennial plants. Got a lily that opened up this morning. Okay, but we're going to turn around because I want to show you the project I've been working on. Hello. Okay, but before I show you my project, and this is like kind of like the nursery where I keep the young citrus trees. All of those are young citrus trees. There's my buns. These are leeks down here. First time I've ever grown leeks, really not paying too much attention to them. We'll see how that turns out. All of the purple that you see is perilla, and it just drops wherever it wants to. The seeds do. I like it at this stage. I don't like it when it starts to go to seed because it kind of gets like, I don't know, it gets a funky color. I don't like it so much. So those are the citrus trees. And I'm actually not growing citrus trees because I want that many. No, 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 no. I want 2 standards. So you can see I've kind of settled on 1, 2, 3, 4. That I'm going to see which ones are the straightest. I want them for the front porch for the future. So these are a few of the house plants here. This is Lava Rose Coleus, one of my favorite coleus. Okay, so this is the area right here that last year I had 2 raised beds here and I had trouble for years getting anything to grow. So we pulled the raised beds out. So this is all new this year, including the grass on either side. I did that early spring. I left the paths wide enough so that I could mow through here, which was always a problem for me because I love this. I love this border. And I spend a lot of time here because the rabbits are here, and this is all new too. All right, so let's go this way first. So I'm really excited. So I have quite a few hostas that I have planted this year. They actually have a lot of slug damage on them. See the foliage, but look at those pretty little flowers. This is Dicentra. It's actually not Dicentra anymore. Bleeding Heart, they reclassified it. Solomon Seal, right here. So this was all like burning bush, this whole thing. Well, from here to here was all burning bush. So it took me a while, cleared it all out. I just popped a few. These are actually coleus. I just thought they looked really nice. And this is another Plectranthus right here. I have, this one is Neptune. That one right there is Neptune, and that one is Coast to Coast, I believe. And so they're going to get really big, so I had to leave them space. And you can see that Bleeding Heart is starting to yellow. It just didn't get enough water to stay green through the summertime, and that's okay. A lot of times they will just die back. So these hostas were already here, these right here. This is new, and I popped in, that is a little hydrangea right there that you can see has a lot of new growth on it. That hosta is Fragrant Beauty. There's some astilbe. These astilbes I transplanted from another part in the garden. They're very pretty. That is something moon. Pretty sure I labeled it. I did. August moon. This plant right here is Thalictrum. It's really tall. And so literally I just finished this back here. And this was all burning bush, which you can see it's still on the line right there, and that's good. That can just stay there, be burning bush down on that side of the hill. This all started because my mother and sister got me this bird feeding station for my birthday, and this is exactly the view from my kitchen window. I can see this whole area right here, so I wanted to be able to watch the birds. And this not only was burning bush, but it was solid Hemerocalis fulva, the orange daylily, sometimes is called ditch lily because it can grow in a ditch without a problem. So I've continued my shade border. That's my plan. There's little tiny baby hosta that I started myself from seed from Big Daddy. I plugged a few of them in. I've left room for other hosta because, hey, that's fun, right? That is a moonvine growing up there. This right here is where grass is going to go. So that's what that's about. Painstakingly, I removed all of the it took me a week working on it every day to remove all of the orange daylilies. And you can't just compost them because they will just grow wherever you put them. So I gave some of them to my friend Rodney, and others went in the garbage. Yep, that's what you do. Here is my problem right here. This pipe, this shovel is here on purpose so that I don't have to go get a tetanus shot. That pipe right there is from an old birdhouse, one of those purple martin houses that my dad dropped a tree on. So I have to get rid of that. This is a gift, a birthday gift from my daughter and son-in-law. And I had one of these years ago. This is the black lace elderberry. And I had to move it and it just didn't do well. But I love this here. I mean, really, really love it. You can see this is Heather's way of doing things. I'm doing it once. Cardboard, you can still see the cardboard because I ran out of mulch. I threw some grass clippings on them, so I'll just continue to mulch that. Now down there are the ditch lilies still. That's fine. Okay, so that was what I wanted to show you there. And this is, we're at Daylily Hill, where the cultivated daylilies start that I have planted on purpose. That is a Baptisia. There's quite a few Coreopsis in bloom right now. Very pretty. You can see my smoke bush right there. Some goldenrod. I let the goldenrod grow because it's medicinal. Can you see the turtles on the log? I'm going to zoom in. See them? All right, so we're going to, that is where the Hugel culture hill is right there, but we're going to go back this way through the garden. Because, let's see, I planted quite a few of the chick charms here. You can still see that they're in the shape of their pot. There's the one that I started with, but you know, I just thought, wouldn't that be great just to have them in here? Look, here's some more over here. And more Echinacea. This is Bluebird Augustaceae. Look at these beautiful seed pods on the Amsonia. There's a cobweb. Oh, spiders are trying to kill me. I do not want to wear that. I cut some of the iris back because the foliage gets really ugly in the summertime and new foliage will just grow right back. And this big guy right here is tansy. Kind of the wrong spot for it, right here near the path, but we'll see. I just transplanted this last year. The gooseneck for the pollinators. It's early in the morning, so there are no pollinators out quite yet. Well, at least not in the shady spots. There's not any. It's a pretty lily that bloomed. I don't know how it got here. What are you doing? I don't know. Oh, I almost forgot to show you this red Echinacea here. Look at that beauty. This is year 2. Very pretty. There's my grill with my little pot of, now we just have basil and oregano here. Pretty sure that this is that brown beetle that comes out at night that does this here. This oregano is very tasty. This is the one I planted from seed this year. Love that. Just popped those guys in because I had a tomato plant that wasn't doing so well. It was done. So look at my corn. Guess what likes to eat corn? No, I don't have deer. We don't have deer here. The deer are on the other side of the water. I'll see them and I'll wave to them. We have an understanding. Don't cross the water. So Canadian geese. Canadian geese ate my corn. I caught them eating my corn. Now my little corn patch was like a last minute second thought kind of thing because my salad garden where it was going to go on the edge could not all be planted this year. So I had this weird little space that I just popped it in. And this is my corn patch. And I kind of just grew this for the to have stalks at the end of the season for decoration. Now they're not all growing at the same rate. They do have their pollen on them. Oh, here you are. I was wondering, this is Penny. Penny is usually always with me in the garden. Anyway, this variety of corn, look at these cool leaves, right? Oh look, this one's even cooler. Yeah, so I kind of grew it for decoration and I have it in some pots too as a centerpiece. Penny's like, oh, we're looking at the corn? Okay, let's look at it together. All right, don't do that to the corn. Yeah. Anyway, so more gooseneck here. This is laying down. Yeah, I don't know. This patch right here is here because there's a slight hill and it does a great job of just covering that hill. This is the back side of the garden that we were just in. You can see that's where we came from over there. There are a few little lavender plants planted here. Planted them last year. And this is the hugelkultur hill that has green beans in the front. Penny, don't knock me over. And then Bare Necessities kale. This is Scarlet Kale. This is broccoli Romanesco. Let me show you. That's what they look like. That's what I'm getting anyway. It's not what it looks like on the seed packet, but I'll take it. And in the back are cabbages back there. There's a row of cabbages that need to be harvested. Now, right there is an up-and-coming hugelkultur hill. Yeah, it's otherwise known as the compost pile. So I dump things there. And in that hill is that zucchini that I planted late that is growing like mad. Like I can't believe how fast it's growing. Look at this guy. I can't even dump anything on this side anymore, so now I have to come from the other side in order to dump it. And this is my sad, sad peach tree. That's like, oh, don't be sad, Heather. I'm going to give you lots of peaches this year. And I'm like, okay, we'll see, but you're still crooked. You're still crooked. I really tried to straighten it out. And then it gave me peaches. So that is the path to the salad garden. And this is my metal shed that has grapes growing on this side and hops growing on that side, and it houses all of my garden tools. And this is where I took down that American arborvitae because I needed to be able to have my mower come up here. Yes, the stump is still there, because I can only use baby chainsaws. I cannot use big boy chainsaws. I just can't start them. I don't know. Anyway, so what I've planted here is a butterfly bush. See that butterfly bush? Yes, Penny, yes, you see it, I know. And a little Veronica. And now I had to trim back this dappled willow. See the dappled willow? I don't know if you can see the dapple in the willow, but it really is a dappled willow. And it's just starting to grow a little bit this way. All of these are new tips, which I'll enjoy seeing that. This is a monk's hood. I planted this years ago, and it was like halfway under the American arborvitae, so it'll be interesting to see if that blooms this year. And this is the entrance to my salad garden that is only planted like this much this year because we're still doing projects on both sides trying to build up a retaining wall because the old wall fell down. This is all just weedy stuff. But let me show you, you know what? Let me show you what's good in here because I don't want to look at it as a negative. First of all, look at this beautiful little sedum. So pretty. I've got some rhubarb. It looks really good. I have beautiful carrots. Gorgeous, gorgeous carrots this year. And I have beautiful peppers. This is Mira pepper. It is an early, kind of like a bell pepper, and it's early. And there are some Lasa peppers that are new to me. They are not anywhere. I've been eating the Mira peppers, but these are the Lasa peppers here. They're supposed to turn red, so I'm just gonna let them. There is Brussels sprouts that actually are starting to make their little sprouts down in there. And this is borage. And the bees just love the borage. I had to stake it up though, because it got so tall and it got weak. These are Cubanelle peppers here. And this is one of the lettuce that are going to seed, so I can collect the seeds. That monster is horseradish right there. And so see the onions? Okay, me and my ideas, I'm like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have a row of onions on the path? No, it's not nice at all. And I'll never do it again. I love this side. This side is awesome. I've got some basil in the front, and then I have, look at this, Kajari melon. And I planted Market More 76 cucumbers in here as well, which they're competing. Oh, a stink bug. Oh, you little stinker. Oh, okay. All right, so when you see the stink, oh gosh, she's wiggling. Oh, don't wiggle. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's the stink bug. You gotta get them. When you see the stink bug, you gotta get them. Even if you don't have gloves on, get them. Now I'm gonna throw them. Look. Yeah, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, so Market More and Kajari are competing here. And they are covering nicely, very nice. Oh, I love it, love it, love, 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 love it. Okay, and on this side are beans. This is where the peas used to be. The peas used to be on this side. And I just did this a couple weeks ago and they're already reaching the top here. So on this side were the tall telephone peas, and I put silver slicer cucumbers on this side just a couple days ago. They look good. Some new basils down in here, which the bugs are already eating. That's okay. I have enough basil that I can let them chew on some of it and I can have the rest. So these onions, actually, you know, they are in the wrong place, but they're super tasty. So in a clump like this, penny. on a clump like that, I will go ahead and remove. Actually, I'm going to do it right now. If somebody will let me. Penny, can I please do this? To give room to the rest of them. Okay, and then you have early onions to have in salad. Super yum. All right, so here's the view from the other side, and there's another row of carrots with peppers. Dumb idea. I won't be doing this in this little, actually, you know what? This entire garden is getting reset. Like, total garden is getting reset. I'm gonna have my husband help me to lay it out with the new space on either side, because I can't break from my mold. So anyway, it is what it is. So right in the front is St. John's wort. And I just let them drop seed wherever they want, and because I use the St. John's wort medicinally, and I have friends that I actually give the tincture to as well. So this is Craig's Grande jalapeno. They are looking good. Look at this big one in here. Oh, did you really just snap it? Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, look at that. I'm gonna call that one ready. What am I gonna do with it? I'm not sure. And then I have this other little yellow, where is it? Oh, look at these little tiny peppers. I believe that they are a hot pepper. I ever tell you guys about the time I tried to kill my son-in-law? Not really. I didn't really try to kill him. I'm like, here, eat this pepper. I think it's sweet. It was not sweet. It was really, 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 really hot. And I felt so bad because I really thought it was a sweet pepper. This is not a sweet pepper, I don't believe. So it's a hot pepper. Oh, maybe I'll be like, here, have this pepper. I'm just kidding. I love my son-in-law. There's the beans right there. And yeah, I just can't, I'm so pleased with my cucumber crop this year. Oh, who is in there? All right, oh, he saw me coming. That was a striped cucumber beetle. Yeah, they're here. Their numbers are not, oh, I can't say it out loud. They're not as big as they were last year. Okay, now I said it, now I'm gonna be cursed. And let's see, in the front here are albino beets that I actually haven't even looked at much. Oh, there they are, they're down in there. These greens are great in smoothies too. And there's the borage again with the borage. Okay, doesn't it just look like, I don't know, luminescent? Super pretty, right? I can never seem to get a picture to capture what it looks like. Love that. Ooh, something touched me. All right, so let's move on to one of my favorite areas, and that is my Pollinator Alley. So why do you call it Pollinator Alley, Heather? Okay, so because, and again, there's not too much activity going on here because it's early, but all of these plants serve a purpose for the pollinators. The mountain mint, they love the mountain mint, and it actually, from now until, gosh, through October, they will be on this plant. The grasses are there to provide shelter for butterflies. When storms come, they can tuck themselves down in there. There's a Joe Pye weed that is good for nectar right there. I love to walk down this aisle here. It's very, very pretty. And this glows at night too. I love to see this. I think I've got some footage of daytime when it's a lot busier here. So these little guys are Popino Melons. my sister grew from seed. And so what is going on with this? So I have to tell you guys, I have never before seen snails in my garden, and this would be the third one. What is up with that? Is this a bad invasive snail? Aren't they all? No, I have no idea. He's like, hey lady, let me go. Okay, anyway, I'm not putting him down. I'm gonna go feed him to the girls. What if this is the same guy? What if every time I've thrown him, he's come back? Not coming back again. Anyway, my sister has Popino melons on hers, and I don't. I just keep getting the flowers and then they drop off. Right? Yeah, I don't know. Oh, a lot of yellow leaves. Ugh. Okay, but what I do have that she started from seed is, oh, what is this called? Tamarillo. This is Tamarillo. Look I got baby Tamarillos. What's a Tamarillo taste like? I have no idea. Why are you growing it? I don't know. Just because it's fun. The foliage smells, I don't know, it has like a funky smell to it, but fun plant. This barrel is pumpkin pie or pumpkin spice, sweet potato, I don't know, but this is one sweet potato slip. Looks great. So here's the other side of the shed where there are grapes, lots and lots of grapes growing, and there are small hops flower. Now, if you ever decide that you're going to plant hops, plant it responsibly. Yeah, it will, it spreads. You have to keep it in check, but I use hops medicinally, and these are the flowers. Can you see the flowers? Just starting. They're just starting flowers. And I try to keep it from going on the top so that I can harvest easily. So I had a fishing line that it pulled down. It is a monster, but it's a great plant. I actually like it. Serves a purpose. My Baptisia here, the pods are starting to turn. These are great in dried flower arrangements once they're all purple. I love this. So funny story, I'm gonna tell you a story. So Sturbridge Village is a kind of like I forget what year they have actors playing the era of Sturbridge Village. It's about an hour's drive from here. And when my daughter was little, we spent a lot of time there. And one day I'm looking at the Baptisia in their display garden, and this very kind woman dressed in her colonial, is it colonial? I don't know. I forget right now. I used to know. She came over and she took my hand and she put one of these pods in my hand and smiled and walked away. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. So I planted it. Yep. I just pulled cucumbers out of that barrel, but it's got some beautiful coleus growing in there. All right, so this cutting garden is out of control. Oh my word, it's out of control. First of all, this is all stinging nettle, which I use, but obviously not using fast enough, so I'm gonna have to get that in check. The cosmos that I'm growing this year are looking really good. Isn't that pretty? This is Love Lies Bleeding Amaranth. Look at that. And some Queen Anne's lace that I use for cutting. This Azuratum. I grew all these from seed. Isn't that pretty? It's a nice filler. I love this marigold. This marigold has nice long stems. Look at the long stems on that. holds up like crazy in a vase, and it looks like a little teddy bear sunflower. Love that. Some volunteer Echinacea are growing in here. And some zinnias. Look at the zinnias. And one of my viewers, now my friend Julie, sent me these zinnia seeds. Oh, I can't remember. It's green something. I'm letting them mature so that I can use them for seed for next year. But what a pretty zinnia. Oh, just gorgeous. Queen lime, that's what it is. Queen lime zinnia. This is one of the seedlings, the bee balm that I grew this year. Look at that. Oh, I just love that. Lots of milkweed down in here. Lots and lots of milkweed. We'll look at that after. Because I wanted to show you the problem that I'm having over here on my cucumbers. And it has been, every year is different in gardening. Every year is going to grow you. You gotta be willing to grow. You gotta be willing to go outside when it's hot and when it's cold and when it's raining, and you gotta be willing to learn. Now, down here are sweet potatoes, okay? They're doing fine. They're doing fine. This is some kind of a fungal thing going on with the cucumbers. And there are still cucumbers. That's silver slicer, I think. I think this is so. I planted silver slicer and punakira, which look similar. That's why I did the silver slicer someplace else. Thin-skinned, very yummy. Look at that. But yeah, all of them are having the same issue. Now, I know the difference between a fungal thing and when the striped cucumber beetle has killed off a vine because they're jerks. No, because they carry that bacteria, and that they like, a vine will be beautiful one day and then next day, dead. You're dead. This is the Armenian cucumber that are just starting to produce. It's actually a melon, but it can be used as a cucumber. It's really for people who have a longer season than I do, but I just thought it would be fun to try. And let's see, oh, here's one right here. I was hoping that they would be resistant to the striped cucumber beetle. Yeah, not so much. Hi, Pen. There is my succulent tea that is coming along nicely. I popped some more little seedlings in the top, not seedlings, rooted, sprouted cuttings that I did. So this right here is a bottle brush buckeye that I planted a few years ago, and this is actually, it's got one bloom on it. See the one bloom? This is planted specifically to take up this entire hillside. Take it up, grow, smother everything, do your thing, bottle brush buckeye. I am trying to keep it weeded below because it doesn't like, when it's young, to have competition with weeds. But this is a very special thing. First of all, I always wanted one because pollinators love it. Secondly, I needed a memorial tree because here lies the world's best dog. This is her memorial tree. Her name was Zoe Macaroni and Cheese. And someday when I'm long gone, someone's gonna dig up this hillside and they're gonna find a letter that I wrote about the world's best dog. So hopefully this week it's on my list. I am going to make elderberry jam because I do not need tincture. I have plenty of tincture still. This is a cultivated elderberry right here. I have a couple of them and they are heavy with elderberries right now. It's a pretty little hydrangea. growing out from under it. I'll be cutting this elderberry back after I harvest the fruits because it's out of control. This Hosta Border is still looking pretty good, I have to say, even though it's been, you know, crazy weather. Usually by this time of the year they're looking rough, but I mean maybe a little dull, but still looks good. Got a lot of pretty flowers. Loving how this container is maturing. This container I made out of nothing. I made something out of nothing. My Tradescantia that I had rooted, all of these were rooted cuttings that I had no place for. The angel wing begonias, there's two different kinds of angel wing begonias here. Some coleus, yep, looks good. This is where we sit on the weekends. My sister and her family come over and we sit and we watch the kids. This little area that's cleared out right here, the kids will get in there and just have a good time. Nice breeze. Got the flowers just coming out now. Oh my gosh, why is my, all right, anyway, this plant. So in the back here is the tastiest black raspberry, thornless black raspberry. This is my row of medium to large tomato plants here that I grow on strings. And yeah, powdery mildew, blight, having that issue because of all the rain and the humidity. But still there are some great looking tomatoes here. This one right here is Pantano Romanesco. It is one of my favorite tasting large tomatoes and the reddest of red colors. This is, I believe this is striped Roman, which obviously hasn't colored up yet. Cherokee purple. Really impressed this year with chocolate chestnut. Lots and lots of tomatoes on it. The plant looks great. That is the bucket that I use to take and dispose of all of the leaves that I have to cut off of the plants. This is Brad's Atomic Grape here. This one right here is probably ready. So, isn't that pretty? This is Wood's famous Brimmer, very uniform tomato. All the tomatoes are very uniform in size. And this one is Stupis. It's a large, it's really more of a cherry. It's really a large cherry tomato. So over here I have more Augustaceae. I have, oh, the Clethra is just starting to bloom. Look at this beauty. Lots of bees, lots and lots of bees. So above is the cutting garden, so now we're down below here, and I've got some gorgeous rose hips maturing from these Rosa rugosa, and these are going to be dried and used all winter. They are a very good source of vitamin C. Here are some more milkweed, and we have had a lot of caterpillars born here, hatched, born. They're inside now. Things are looking a little tired. I just cut back the rose campion, trying not to let it sow all of its seed. I'm sure it did sow some of it. The iris are spent. There are some Coneflowers Echinacea in here. This is a black-eyed Susan, a little like miniature looking one. I planted down in here. This is the yellow Asclepias. This is the orange one, orange right there, that has, oh look, it has a pod and it has plenty of aphids. Yes, it does. I don't know what it is. Aphids love milkweed. Oh, there's still some blooms to open right here. This is the bottom of the wooden stairs here. And this is my Gala apple tree. Loaded with apples. Ugly, ugly apples, but nonetheless they're all mine. They are my apples. Organic. Okay, so this is my set of stone stairs that goes up to the flower garden that we were in earlier, and that is a purple smoke bush. And so what I've done over the years, this is a work in progress, like no joke. And I just need to get this finished before I am old. So the goal is to have all of these daylilies fill in and be low maintenance. That's the goal, but we're getting there. So this time of year I have to be super careful where I go because ground bees, oh my goodness, they show up overnight, and yeah, I've gotten stung every year. I discover a nest every year. Okay, so now I am standing in the medicine garden, and this is teasel. Teasel is a plant that I started growing last year, and it is a plant that clearly wants to kill me. So not only does it have thorns on its stem, but on the backs of all of its leaves, and even this part right here is pointy. Okay, so right now what's happening is they're going to drop seed because the medicine is in the year 1 roots. But look at the teeth on this thing. And they gather water in these little, see the water in the little cups there? So that is teasel, and they are at least 6 feet tall right now. I have some motherwort growing down here that looks like something has been nibbling on it, but I've got a couple of those. And this is the bone set in here.